Golden Rule, Crystal Beast, begin. Max C in the standby phase, ain't no way. Nemesis Flag is going to, during the main phase, add a Nemesis monster from the deck to our hand. That's going to be a big fat negate. I don't think so, mate. What the hell are you trying to do with that Nemesis Flag? But we now can triple Tactics Talent, draw 2. Let's fix up the scores. Sorry, I keep on messing that up. As you know, this is what a rogue deck generally does. They end on no disruption. Sure. We have Imperm, which hopefully will be good enough, but through the effect of the Purrely Street, our newly special summon monsters cannot be targeted. And just like that, the Imperm is no good. We are going to be special summoning our Lily, which cannot be targeted by the Impermanence. We held onto the Maxi because we didn't want to get Gambit, I guess, right? Now we're going to activate the Maxi in response to the Lily going into an Xyz summon. Which, what are we Xyz summoning into? We are Shokaning into our E Purrely Happiness. Muhammad, I think, just has game. Yeah, so we are going to... Wait, no, we could make it indestructible by battle. So we did not have the Delicious to make it game because the Delicious is limited to 1. We're going to equip onto the Happiness our Sleepy, which could then use the effect to return a back row card back to the hand, which is non-target, by the way. Sleepy again. With no chain link block, we're going to have so many draws in the standby phase. We're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in the standby phase. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. We could try to Imperm to lessen the amount of draws here. Okay, sure. So we just knocked off about 3 draws, but we're still going to draw 3. As we would, in the standby phase, summon our X Purrely Nor. Draw 1. No hand trap, draw 2, no hand trap, draw 3. And the situation is, this monster cannot be targeted with card effects. It's completely unaffected by activated card effects. And it could spin 3 cards from the field or graveyard back into the deck. It would then lose its activation protection. Now, the Goblin Biker deck I leaked earlier can affect the unaffected X Purrely Nor by detaching the Xyz materials off of the card. So if Purrely were to ever become prevalent enough, it's time to whip out the Goblin Bikers. But, you know, it's not really a popular deck. Am I wrong on this? If X Purrely Nor was a waifu, what do you mean she's not a waifu? If it was a waifu like Labyrinth, then the deck would be 3 times more popular in its current state, and I think Konami would have to hit it by the ban list. It would be that popular. Because it is a very powerful, good deck. People are just not playing it because the complexity and also the aesthetic. Like, what the heck is this? You know, if you're for that, that's fine. All right, let's reveal 3 from the deck. Randomly add to me our card from the deck. Let's now speed this up. Lily gonna be searching for a non-quick play spell. Pot of Prosperity, having our damage for the turn. The X Purrely Nor is gonna go away in the end phase. Sure, as we grab a Delicious Memory, let's get Boost in. So once we equip that, we're going to become nice and plump, reveal the top 3, come to me, nothing, Lily, getting plump, and now we're going to suck up to 2 spell and trap cards from either player's graveyard as we continually get plump. The damage is halved this turn, so we definitely are not going to inflict lethal damage. We're going to suck up the back row Crystal Beast into an X Purrely Nor. Let's swing for that half damage and then maybe make a Zeus with this one. Yep, let's Zeus it up, set it up. And how many cards are we going to be drawing during the standby phase? Only 2. Just 1, actually. 1 draw during the standby phase. Golden Rule. We are just allowing that to do its thing. Sure. Reborn the Pegasus. What the hell? Imperm negate the Pegasus. As we then detach 2 materials to spin the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon back into the deck. I mean, this is a complete slaughter. We have to definitely just take this into another duel. Why do I have a win for them right now? Was this a win? What's going on here? I think I got confused. We were talking about the tins and we watched another duel after watching a previous duel. Let's draw. Main phase 1 to battle phase. We're going to send off the Maxi to suck up the opposing monster. And just like that, lethal damage. Let me figure out the score situation here. Sure. It's 0-0. Thank you. Where was the 1 point from? What just happened here? So we passed turn 1 after losing game 1. Yeah. All right. And we didn't imperm the Lily, as the newly special summon will be not impermable because they're going to have the Purrely Street. Let's speed this up. Huh? We're going to imperm this before it activates the second effect, though. But now we can just summon another one and activate that second effect. We should have waited for it to activate. So I think we chained it to the field spell. The field spell only makes a special summon purely untargetable. The normal summon one would then not become untargetable. You just wait for it to activate, and it is a hard once per turn effect. The other Purrely is not a hard once per turn, so multiple of the regular Purrely can continually activate to perform their Xyz summoning. Let's speed this up. Do we have enough for game here? Obviously, we do not. The E Purrely Happiness needs to be swinging into a monster that can't destroy my battle to perform that lethal damage. As we now MP2 Fucho. Fucho is going to be unaffected by other card effects, and you could detach 2 to make it so this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Sure. So a great card to ensure you do not get turn 2 lethal by a deck like, let's say, Ancient Gear. We're now going to be making the Purrely Nor after we draw 1. Let's draw again. We're going to cross out Designator. Before they draw into an XC, why not just wait for them to activate? What are we doing here? Okay. Oh, we want a banished card for the Corridor. That's why. So Maxi is now negated for the turn before they draw into it. And then we could Corridor, return the Maxi back in the deck. And now we could make a Thunder Dragon Colossus. Can the Thunder Dragon Colossus do anything against an Purrely Nor unaffected from all activated effects and could target the Colossus to spin it back in the extra deck? No, I think I just answered that. Yeah, I can't do anything. It's protected from destruction, not from being spun back into the extra deck. To battle we go. We're just going to spin you back, which was temporarily disallowing us from being able to add from our deck to our hand. And the Triple Tactics talent was never activatable. We never activated a monster effect within the main phase, which we were hoping for by trying to enter the battle. Of course, they were not going to spin you within the main phase. Okay, come forth Purrely. Reveal to me, top 3. Come to me, my friend Purrely. Pot of P again, as we did in game 1, having our battle damage. So we're not going to have lethal this turn, definitely. But we're going to try to set up an unstoppable field. To battle we go, have damage. We're not going to even swing for 50 as we make a Zeus before our Purrely Nor gets spawned back into the deck here. We got I'm Seti. I'm Seti, Glory of Horus, discard to search for nothing as we get negated by an Ash Blossom. That is devastating. We search and we draw, so we just lost 2 cards for that Ash Blossom as we now Triple Tactics talent take control of the Zeus. And with the Zeus, the Fucho is going to make itself indestructible by battle. Sure, we're going to wipe the field. If you imperm this, we'll wipe the field again. Yup, imperm, wipe the field a second time. Just like that, double wipeage. Holy moly. Woo, wipe the field. Fucho's still here. Oh, what do you do with the Fucho if you don't turn it into a Zeus? It was pretty much just protecting us from a lethal damage play that there wasn't even one to exist. All right, we actually having a comeback with Crystal Beast, which the whole comeback is a single Triple Tactics talent. One Triple Tactics talent could fix your entire rogue deck. We do have a field wipe here. Get ready. My friend Purrely, we're not going to wipe the field on the activation of the My Friend Purrely. We're going to wait for there to be a Purrely on the field, activating to perform the Xyz summon. So let's do it. On the activation, now. Wipe the field as the Fucho, which I'm not really sure of its purpose right now, is just stuck on the field as it's continually unaffected from all other card effects. Yeah, it's just chilling. We don't even make a Little Knight with it. It's literally just to make a Zeus. Or I guess you could make a Typhon with it. Grabbing a Pegasus, setting up the Rainbow Dragon. We're going to draw on Lockbird, disallowing both players from adding cards in the deck to the hand for the rest of the turn as the Pegasus now sets up into the back row. As we go into the battle phase still, we're not seeing any big Crystal Beast plays here. It's all about the stolen Zeus turned into our own Zeus. As we now Little Knight main phase 2 as our only form of generic disruption. We're going to imperm it within the draw phase so it cannot banish our opposing monster when we perform an Xyz summon play. Okay. My Friend Purrely, reveal 3 Purrely cards, randomly add 1 of them to the hand. Happy Memory is going to discard to special summon the Lily. Lily is going to be searching for the Leap. Lily is going to equip the Delicious from the graveyard. With the Plump, we're now going to suck up to 2 spell and traps from either player's graveyard. We're going to suck up the Pretty Memory, which will allow us to suck up a card in the field by sending the My Friend Purrely, sucking up the Rainbow Dragon. At 1700 attack, we are big enough to take out that Little Knight for good. Now, we could go into an next Purrely Nor with that leap. We do have one in the extra deck, indeed. We are going to be drawing a card, draw another card, draw a third card, draw a fourth card, as we already drew into an Ash Blossom. So this is a draw 4 combo, and we have 4 spins. We have Ash, draw, spin, 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 spin. We're spinning right now. Get the Topaz Tiger out of here. Did we miss a draw? I thought we had 2 of the Sleepies. We did. What the heck happened? We are now going to be Shokaning into a Bagooska. You're affected by Bagooska, even though you're unaffected from activated card effects. It's a continuous effect, and you're going to be spun back to the extra deck in the end phase through the effect of the Purrely Leap. What do? Little Knight is a way to counter Bagooska. But where's our Little Knight? Oh my gosh. We don't have Little Knight. Bagooska detach. This is the biggest comeback ever through just a bunch of generic cards. We have Triple Tactics Talent, Zeus, Little Knight, Bagooska. The Crystal Beast cards aren't doing anything. They're nothing. So how much more juice do we have left? We can make a Beauty and a Happiness. That's it. Beauty is a monster negate. Sure. And I don't think we could even Pretty Memory Summon for the deck. We could have summoned the Purrely to then Xyz Summon, but the Bagooska would negate that, so we can't do that as long as the Bagooska is up. Bagooska does kill itself during the next turn. Once we have 0 Xyz materials, it is not able to detach during the standby phase, and then it's gone. And I wish more Floodgates worked like Bagooska, where it would just self-delete after a while. We're going to Carbuncle, activate to Reborn from our back row as many Crystal Beast monsters as we want. And it's at this moment, Muhammad has 0 disruption for this massive play. Finally, the Crystal Beasts are going in. We got the Pegasus setting up the Rainbow Dragon as we now make a cross sheet. We're about to perform a fusion no, we're not. The Crystal Beasts are still doing nothing. I can't even believe this. What is going on? Why do we have no plays with these cards? Lethal damage with Bagooska. How did we win? We passed turn 1. Turn 1, we passed. We made no play. We drew, oh my gosh. We had an unplayable hand for our first turn. We did nothing. That's crazy. Let's hop into game 3. Not that Crystal Beast is bad. It's a great deck. We're going to D-Shifter. Everything sent to the graveyard will now be banished. D-Shifter being used in Purrely is quite interesting, as we're going to discard in response to the Shifter to get a card into the graveyard, but it's not a quick play spell we can perform an Xyz Summon with. We have the Purrely YOLOing off the top of the deck, and we YOLO'd into the Sleepy Memory. Now we're going to be Xyzing into our Fucho while both players are under the effect of the D-Shifter. It's like, what did we really accomplish here by D-Shifting? We have nothing, and the opponent's also going to have nothing, I guess. Sure. I could not use... Oh, Muhammad, I'll figure that out. This is Duel goes to time, is what you're saying? Really? Okay, let's find out. We're going to set up a Rainbow Dragon into the back row. We're going to be banishing Come Forth and summon our Cobalt Eagle. As we then normal summon the Pegasus, setting up into the back row the Carbuncle. Chidori. If this card is summoned, Xyz Summon, target a set card and then return it back in the deck, and we still have another effect. We could once per turn detach and Xyz, target a face-up card to then return that to the top of the deck. So set card be gone, face-up card be gone. We're going to have to imperm the first effect, thus stopping also the second effect of Chidori. Negate. That's good. The Fucho will be indestructible by battle. We are now going to Awakening, grab from the deck the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Very nicely royal rare. As we pop and grab a Golden Rule, to battle phase we go. Fucho detach 2 materials, protecting itself from battle. As we now Xyz Shokan into our Zeus. Zeus with the ability to wipe out the entire field. Now, it's my understanding that they are in time and Muhammad is making plays under time, which means we're trying to focus on just gaining life or dealing life point damage, because at the end of the turn, whoever has the highest life points, they win. We've been over 60 minutes in this duel. Making a Typhon, thus the Zeus cannot activate. Spin the Zeus away, open field attack, and I guess we win. It's an unfortunate end to the match, but 60 minutes is longer than the TCG. The TCG also spends time side decking for game 2 and game 3. We don't have side deck, 60 minutes, and we still hit the time limit sometimes. So Andy, thank you for surrendering, and thank you, Mohammed, for the duel. Let's hop in another match. We're going to start this off with an Albion Shrouded. Send an Albaz to draw a card as we Gold Sark banish from the deck a card that would be ashable. Do we ash this? No way, because we know that we want to save it for the Branded Fusion. But Justinian does not activate Branded Fusion. He copies the effect of it through an Anaconda. So I think that mental mind games happening here right now of the opponent's going to hold on to Ash for a card that I don't even plan on using is a big benefit to his deck overall. That's crazy. So by holding on to the Ash, they're going to end up just using it on something like a Maxi. We have Dissipator here, which is not going to be able to negate the Ash Blossom. We have Anaconda, which you can't Ash the Anaconda, but you can Impermanence it. Or Veiler. Veiler, Impermanence. If they finger the Veiler, you follow up with the Impermanence, just like that. No Mirror Jade for you. Now, the Branded Fusion is still sent by cost, which it is retrievable if we play a Branded Retribution in this version of our Branded. This is a different kind of version. It's like a Dragon Link Synchro version, Synchro Branded. Someone's saying it's called Synchro Branded, but it's just playing a Baron de Flor and a Dissipator. We have that Ash Blossom for that Maxi, as I said, as we are holding it for that Branded Fusion play. And because our Anaconda's stuck on the field, our Gamma's dead. We need to have no monsters in order to activate that Gamma. Let's set up that Wake Up Centruion, discard a card, set a Centruion into the back row, come forth and summon. And by summoning our Auxilla, it's chain link blocked by the Gargoyle from being negated by something like a Gamma or an Ash Blossom. So what can you Ash against Centruion? You won't be able to Ash the Auxilla if they have a Gargoyle to block it. The only Ashable effect is Primera. You can't Ash Trudea, you can't Ash the Wake Up Centruion, you can't Ash the Emblema, so you got that one opportunity. Auxilla in the end phase after opening up the field, just like that, Gamma, negate, and destroy. That is devastating. Now the Phalanx trap can reborn it. The Phalanx, you could only use one effect that turn among the two effects, but after banishing a card, you could then, during the next turn, banish the Phalanx to reborn your Auxilla from the graveyard. What do? We're gonna banish that Seifert until the next standby phase. As Trudea summons, oh, we scooping. We know that there's going to be too much coming up in the next turn as we reborn the Auxilla. We're going to have full combo with the Trudea. Let's hop into game 2. We have Lubellian discard, and people want to know where Snake Eye Diabolstar is. We have Branded Fusion actually activating at this time, not using our Anaconda, and of course, we do not have our Ash Blossom to negate. We're going to Imperm negate that Albion. Now, with the Lubellian in the graveyard, we're going to be banishing it before we get the Albion in the grave to then search for a Branded in red during the end phase. So let's now speed this up as we are through all of our disruptions. Now we're in trouble. We are in big trouble as, we're screwed. Can we break this? We are activating our Wake Up Centruion, discard the extra copy of the Emblem of Oath to have our Trudea to come forth and summon, triggering our Regain to summon our Baldrake. We could banish a monster summon for the extra deck. We could non-target banish a monster. We could also Ash negate something. We could Quem Reborn from the graveyard in Albaz to potentially fuse to the opposing field, possibly up to 4 disruptions here. As we now make Legacia on summon, destroy a monster on the field with the highest attack and draw a card. As I said, Baldrake is going to banish a monster summon for the extra deck. We're also non-target monster banishing and banishing. Okay. Oh, we're banishing the Lubellian just to get the Rinbrum into the graveyard. As we draw a card and, what are we trying to pop? The pop is optional. Then you could destroy a monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. We chose to not do so. I mean, we're screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed. It's draw, then optionally pop. Let's hop into game 3. Primera, grabbing a stand-up Centruion from the deck. Let's stand up, discard, set up into the back row our Trudea. Trudea special summon to then set itself on the back row to grab a Gargoyle. Gargoyle special summon, make an Auxilla. Chainlink block from an Ash Blossom. as the Gargoyle is now going to be re-adding itself back to our hand as it instead gets banished by the Druid Swarm. We've got a Primera in the back row to the effect of the Centruion Bonds. Now, what are our disruptions here? We have Imperm, negate, Phalanx, banish. We have Blazar Dragon, negate a summon or card. Triple disruption. Can we break? Can they play through 3 disruptions? Quem is going to be negated by the impermanence. Negate. You know, whatever ideas there are to make going second better, the game needs them. And releasing decks like Ancient Gear and Tenpai Dragon, I don't think that's the way we're supposed to balance going second. Just making powerful go second decks. I think on general, it should be close to 50%. Crimson Dragon is here. And this is going to be our Blazar Dragon. Get ready. Grab a Trudea from the deck to the effect of the Primera. As we now Blazard up. You summon, we can negate it. You attack, we can negate it. You activate a card, we can negate it. We're going to Phalanx banish your Druid Swarm. And now we're on our 3rd and final disruption. That's it. We used up the Imperm, we used the Phalanx. So we negated, we banished, we just have Blazar Dragon. Question is, what do we negate? Because we got that one super negate. We are banishing the Primera from the back row. We're going to special summon our own Druid Swarm. This is not a form of disruption at the moment. We now have a Dissipator, which we're going to negate the summon. The summon is now illegally summoned. It's no longer properly summoned. So we are going to Cartesia special summon. You can see that on the card here. Not properly summoned, so you can't reborn it with a regained, which is a big deal. Because we could easily set up regain to then want to resummon our Dissipator from the graveyard. We're going to call by the grave, finger from the grave, the safer before it activates to add back something like a Lubellion in the graveyard, just like that. Big enough to take out the Druid Swarm, nothing to send to the grave, but Justinian is pretty much out of juice. We have Cartesia add back, come forth Blazar Dragon, Auxilia set up into the back row, the super duper Omni Solemn Judgment negate is here. What are you going to do? Of course, your Druid Swarm comes back to the effect of the Phalanx. Let's speed this. Yeah, let's scoop it. There you go. Very well done. And would we have won if we didn't have Imperm added on top of our... I mean, we had pretty much an uninterrupted turn 1 that could only be 2 negates. That's really weak. But when comboed up with potentially having an Imperm or an Ash in addition to that, that does prove to be too much for a lot of decks. And with our deck already inherently being maxi resilient, that's why Centruion is very good.